morning, guys. G2P angler Jason Reese here. Thanks for tuning in and getting to Pro Offshore Angler. I am heading out this morning out of Hillsborough Inlet. It might look a little bit bright out here. It's because it is. My family wanted to come today. They didn't want to come early, so we got up later and they weren't feeling 100%, so they stayed back, and I'm now out solo. And the goal of today is, it is a full moon, and we have in the last two videos, if you're watching, caught wahoo in the middle of the day. So instead of getting up early and chasing that first light bite, we're gonna go middle of the day and see if we can find a couple of wahoo. And by myself, so my max is 2. So if I catch 2 wahoo, I'm done for the day. Some other things of note is that I'm not bringing real bonita strips anymore. So now I have officially moved to only artificial. So I am using the Need a Strip artificial bonita strips. And if you watch my channel Learning to Fish from last year to this year, you'll see that I've just kind of moved on from ballyhoo and real bonita strips, and now I'm trolling a very what I like to call a balanced spread, 6 lines and all artificials. It keeps my trolling speed higher and my baits aren't washing out. So unless there's seaweed, it's easier for me, especially when I'm out here solo, to fish without swapping baits out, constantly wondering if something's washed out or not. And I'm faster, so I cover more territory, so I love that. So that's my goal for today. I'm heading out of Hillsborough Inlet. It's supposed to be 2 to 3 foot seas on a short interval, so it'll be a little bit choppy, which is fine. And I'm just hoping there's not scattered seaweed. So that's my only hope. When you're by yourself and it's scattered seaweed all day, you're just nonstop clearing lines. If you've noticed my attire today, I've been asked by a bunch of my viewers to start selling merch on this channel, which is a brand new thing for me. So I've got these shirts custom made, ordered them, got them in. They suck. I wouldn't even give these shirts away. So I can already tell you 10 minutes into my intercoastal cruise here towards the inlet, I'm sweating and these shirts are garbage and super hot. So these won't be for sale. I am trying out these gloves. These seem like they're gonna be the ticket, like get you a little bit of a better grip on fish with the inside lining and hopefully keep your fingers clear but protect your hands from the sun. I've noticed that since I've been fishing a lot more the last couple of years, the backside of my hands are getting beaten up because you put sunscreen on, but they're nonstop in salt water. They just get rubbed off and you've got to try to protect yourself long term. I want to be out here slaying fish till I'm in like my 60s and 70s, so try to protect myself. So I'm still playing around with this design. We'll see how this goes today. As my friend Juice would say, keep your eye out for the merch drop. So I'm gonna run out here to the inlet, get the outriggers out, get lines out, get deployed, and see if we can find some like late morning to early afternoon, midday wahoo before I head in. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, guys, so going out in the spread today on one outrigger, blue and white chugger. On a number 6 and 8 planer, it's gonna be a blue and white sea witch, blue and silver sparkly Nita strip. In the mid is gonna be a zoom witch with a Nita strip. On the boonbird shotgun is gonna be a tuna hoochie, a pink one. On the number 4 planer on the corner, pink and white sea witch, purple Nita strip. And on the other outrigger is gonna be an Islamorada flyer. So, looks decent out here. To get out here, get deployed really quick. I'm gonna probably be trolling everywhere from like 150 to 400 and try to find some midday wahoo. All right, so I'm out of the inlet. I'm heading north towards Boca. I got all the lines out, and literally I'm like deploying lines into seaweed because it is so scattered out here. It doesn't matter, it doesn't seem to matter what depth I'm at. There's just scattered seaweed everywhere. So that's the bad news. And that's bad news for a solo angler who's gonna be just rotating around, cleaning seaweed off and putting lines back out. So it's gonna be a very active day. I'm gonna give myself about 3 hours out here. It's 10:30. I'll go until 1:30. And the whole point of this is to troll the outgoing tide here, trying to pick up some wahoo. So once the tide shifts anyways, I'm gonna be heading back in. So I got a small window. I'll make the most of it here. It's gonna be a very active, busy day. And the good news is we got like really pretty cobalt blue water in here, even like relatively shallow. The wind's been blowing this blue water in from the Gulf Stream, so hopefully find some wahoo. Unfortunately, it is a pretty bright day. Not the best, but got lucky in the bright sunny conditions the last couple of outings, so fingers crossed we can find one out here this morning. 184 feet off the Boca here. Been slow, just non-stop seaweed. And the short planer triggered on a turn. That one bit through, so that's at least one bite. Been a pretty slow day so far. Very laborsome, just a ton of one line clear, back out, one line clear, back out, just non-stop seaweed. So on seaweed days out here, your best bet is run your baits that attract the least amount of seaweed, and your planers tend to be best. As long as you deploy the leader in clear water, the planer's gonna go down. When you go through seaweed goes down the line, and the planer either breaks it or holds it, and your bait runs clear in the back. So these heavy seaweed days tend to be like pretty good planer days. All right, so in the blue sea witch, which was on a number 6 planer, got bit, bought it in, checked it right, was torn, put a new one on. Since I was already slowed down, I decided to bring in the number 4 planer with the pink and white sea witch and get the seaweed off of that one, and discovered that right after where the bridle connects, actually the second swivel on the bridle and the entire leader and bait were gone. So what I believe happened, and this is a seaweed plus laziness factor, is that as I've been trolling, I've been gathering up seaweed on that planer. The planer was holding it, and I noticed occasionally start to pull out some line. I'm like, all right, I got some more seaweed, and what did I do? Instead of pulling it and clearing the seaweed, I just kept tightening up the drag little by little by little. And when we came through and got that bite, I think both planer rods got hit, and a fish hit, and it was not enough drag for that hit, and snapped off the swivel. So likely it was already kind of stressed, but the bridle broke. I didn't see any signs of wear and tear before, but I'm pretty confident that if the drag was set properly, that fish hits, pulls line, and at least get a chance at that fish. So maybe a laziness factor or an equipment failure there, but either way, got everything redeployed, and I made a change. So I moved the number 4, the blue and white, on a 10-second count, that's the short planer now, and I changed out the 6 or 8 planer. It's too heavy in all the seaweed, and I've gone to a number 2 planer on a 30-second count for the pink and white sea witch and unit strip on the far side over here. So I don't think I need the baits down super low for today. Like, it's already a hot day. Yes, I'm sure the fish are going lower, but I don't think it's gonna make it. I think what makes a difference today is like being able to keep lines clear and pulling a semi-decent spread over a fish where they can actually hit one of these hooks that are ready to go and try to maximize an opportunity here. So it's been slow. The current's ripping. I got to Boca like that. I was going 12 knots, spread looked great, and then going back south towards Hillsboro, it's like 5 knots, and the spread was struggling. So definitely a big northern current today, but still in it. Trying to get away from a lot of the shallower charter boats. I have everywhere from like 150 out to like 550, just trying to find something going out here. And so far, only that, what I believe was a double bite in like 380. So heading back out that way, keeping it in like cobalt blue water, and trying to find something out here. Storms to the south here, Fort Lauderdale. I've come back to our inlet there. That's Hillsboro Inlet. You can see the lighthouse out there. You can see there's still seaweed everywhere. And I think what I'm going to try this time is just to kind of go back and forth across the inlet at different depths, because I've caught wahoo in front of our inlet on an outgoing tide a number of occasions now over the last few months. So I think I'm just going to try to just kind of figure eight this thing back and forth. I'm at like 176 going through it now. I'll come back deeper, and then I'll go through shallower and see if we can pick anything up. And I'm watching for storms out here too, because they're popping up out here over the water and then traveling towards shore here. So I got another hour in me. I've taken one rod offline. I couldn't keep up there. I'll be covered in seaweed. So I dropped the blue and white chugger and put the mid in the outrigger, and now I'm just running a 5-line spread. And if it continues to be the seaweed heavy and I can't keep up, I'll go back down to a 4-line spread. So I'm confident that my 2 planers are running pretty clean, and that's the most important thing for out here wahoo fishing. So I'm okay rotating out the other rods as we go, but we'll give it another hour or so. All right, just got tight. I think it's a bonita, and it's the pink Alamorada flyer. It's got lit up. I'm gonna watch this other boat coming in over here. It looked like a bonita when it hit. We'll see here in a minute. Making sure I'm safe to start bringing this fish in. Right in front of the inlet. That was 215 feet outside of the inlet. Actually, it's a Mahi. It's jumping around out there. It is not a big one, but Happy to get something in here. I've only caught one bonita. All right, on the board of the little one here. This little guy's 24 inches. I could keep him, but I'm gonna toss him back. When they come back in pretty good shape, and they're not longer than like 25, 26 inches, let them go. I mean, I enjoy mahi, but so far that would only be my only keeper so far, and it's probably not worth going through the trouble at this point. Plus, I want the fishery to be healthy. All right, planer just tripped. Get to work on this one. I see a ton of seaweed on that planer, but I think I also see a fish behind it. So I bring the seaweed in. I see a fish back there already behind it. So swapping that number 6 planer for the number 3 planer it's been good. I've been able to keep a little bit more speed and not dealing with like heavy deeper lines full of seaweed. So that's been a good swap, and I think that might be like my go-to from now on. This is not going to be a great fish. I think this rod looks bent over because of all the seaweed on the planer, but really I think the fish is small. A little bonita or something maybe. I'm not going to get any captain's points for being smart, but when I was north of Boca, just super bright and sunny, I noticed some storms coming up off of Fort Lauderdale, so I actually came to try to stay a little more on the outskirts of the storms, see if I can find some like cloudier weather or something to try to change the bite up, because that was pretty slow. Well, dedicate this one to the Cuda Queen, my wife. Couldn't be here today, but if she was, I'm 100% sure she would have been grabbing this rod. That Alamorada flyer just got hit again. Whatever it is, not huge. Pull out the outrigger. It's on. Just giving it a second to see if anything else picks up in case it's not. All right, don't see anything else getting hit. Put it in autopilot. This is the kind of day we got out here today. And let's get to work on this guy. As I'm going north, I barely have the engines on. I'm running 8 knots, 8.5 knots. Actually, I don't think so. This diving, I think it'll be blackfin. Not a huge blackfin, but it is diving and shaking like one. That is one I'll keep. If I throw this one back, the wife is not going to be happy with me, so that'll be a dinner for the 2 of us, or at least a great appetizer. And I hope the blackfin are starting to bite, because I'm going to start this pink Alamorada flyer. It's the only pink tough water I have right now, so I'm going to go through the lure box here and find some more pink baits and see if we can find something else similar, try to capitalize on this bite. All right. 293 feet of water. The pink Alamorada flyer just got hit again. In fact, we hit the last 2 times. One time we got blackfin. One time we got mahi, so not sure what we're up for this time. Darn it. A couple more little fish, kind of peanut mahi and another small bonita, so nothing exciting. And everything in the spread's been hit except the shotgun, which, as you guys watch the show, like tends to be one of the more popular lines that get hit. This has been a pink tuna hoochie. I brought this thing in like 100 times today, every time full of weeds. So this one's getting pulled from the spread right now. And I'm gonna put out this Williamson sailfish catcher. That's kind of like bonita color, translucent with some purple and black on it. And a smaller profile bait that's gonna be a little bit of a chugger head that I'm hoping is just like a little more weedless out there, because this one is just getting like just non-stop deployed back into weeds. So hopefully I'm in my last like maybe 15-20 minutes here. I'm trying to find a early afternoon wahoo, and then I'm heading in. I've got storms coming in from the Bahamas, and it's picked up out here to around like 3 to 4 feet. So I'm heading in soon. Fingers crossed for one last crack. Shotgun finally got hit. Almost parallel with the inlet. I was gonna try going shallower, but 320. My shotgun got leveled. That was the new bait that I swapped out, which is the Williamson sailfish catcher. It's just a small hook on those. So if you saw my last video, we had a fish bend that hook almost straight. But I left that small hook on this time because I thought it would help with the weeds. The weeds are terrible today. I think it might be another blackfin, but it is not as big as that first run was indicative of. It looks like a blackfin coming in. I was trying some head shakes, but I've got it on top now. They have just punched itself out on that first big run, but yeah, it's a blackfin. It's decent, but it's not huge like you would have thought from the way it was peeling offline a minute ago. Take it though. Goes to show you, change the baits out. Other one wasn't getting hit. Change the baits out. Be smart, be diligent, and you will be rewarded. Decent blackfin. Couple will make a good meal for tonight. The wife and family happy. These two storms are converging on me here, so I'm gonna pick up and go and head for the inlet. I'm gonna get the full recap here in just a second. All right, back in the inlet. Storm, there's one behind me, one's up here in front of me. I might get wet here going in a minute, but better than being offshore getting hit with it. It was getting up to like 4-foot seas, the wind was picking up, so it was close to the inlet. It wasn't by accident, so easy in. I think overall I'm a little disappointed with the day. I really hoped to find like a midday wahoo, and I didn't find it. I got 2 mahi, 2 blackfin, and 2 cuda and 2 bonita, so really a day of twos. All right, check out the bite breakdown for the day today. So in the top left, the two lures with 0 bites were ones that I pulled from the spread for either poor performance and or just collecting too many weeds. Next to that, the Zoom Witch got 1 bite with a needed strip on it. And to the right of that is the Williamson sailfish catcher. That was the one that caught the best blackfin that I caught and the one that I put on at the very end of the day. So it was only on for a little bit of time and it delivered. So that was a good swap out for that lure. Bottom left, the Sea Witch, that got 2 bites, that was deeper. The Islamorada Flyer, bottom middle, got 2 bites, that was on one of the blackfin as well. And then finally, the high producer again continues to be that pink and white Sea Witch with the Nita strip, artificial bonita strip. That one's been outperforming most of the baits the last couple of months. Overall, like, not a terrible day. I didn't really like googan anything up too badly. I purposefully went slow. When you're by yourself, I've taught myself to the hard way of just taking my time and doing things methodically. They say that wishers have goals and winners have systems. So when you're out here, I had things on like backup yo-yos. So as things went wrong, I had backup systems to rely on, and I just kind of kept things like pretty mellow and easy for the day, which is a pretty solid day overall. I think that's pretty much it. This will be a pretty short video. I'm gonna go back. I have some more rum, clean the boat up, bring some fresh fish home, enjoy a nice blackfin tuna dinner, and until next time, when you're waiting for the next video, guys, check out these videos, Tight Lines.